What if I told you there's one nutrient you could take that could drastically improve your diabetes, protect your peripheral nerves, treat neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's, multiple sclerosis, Parkinson's, Huntington's, cerebellar ataxia, and would help you lose weight at the same time? Would it sound too good to be true? Like an unbelievable fairy tale? Well, it's not. This nutrient that can do all of this is called berberine, and all of this is backed by science. There are over 700 clinical studies published every year on berberine, and scientists have been buzzing with excitement over the incredible findings. Today, I'm going to talk about the amazing power of berberine and its benefits from weight loss to nerve health, and I'll show you the scientific studies to back it all up. I'll review berberine's effect on peripheral and central nervous system, how berberine interacts with medications, and how you can use berberine to potentially eliminate certain medications, again, backed by scientific studies. And you're definitely going to want to stick around until the end because I'll cover which is the best type of berberine and how much you'll need. I promise you, this video will be life-altering. You don't want to miss it. Hey gang, Dr. C here. If you're ready to conquer your peripheral neuropathy, reclaim your life, and start living again, then subscribe to our channel and don't forget to click on the bell to get notified as soon as we publish new content. Now, let's get started. Berberine has gained significant attention over the last decade. However, it's been used for medicinal properties for well over 2,000 years. This unique compound derived from various plants has a fascinating history of traditional use in ancient Chinese medicine dating back to the Han Dynasty from 206 BCE. This plant has also been revered for its medicinal benefits in Ayurvedic medicine and even Native American healing. Let's begin by looking at berberine's effect on diabetes and neuronal damage. Statistics show that more than 60% of the people afflicted with diabetes will develop peripheral neuropathy. And what's alarming about this is the fact that globally, 537 million adults ages 20 to 79 years old have been diagnosed with diabetes. And that number is predicted to rise up to 643 million people by 2030. But the reality is 40% of the global population is walking around with undiagnosed diabetes. Now, if that isn't bad enough, current research reveals that prediabetes can cause peripheral neuropathy. Prediabetes is a serious health condition where your blood sugar levels are higher than 100 milligrams per deciliter, but lower than 126 milligrams per deciliter, which is the point where diabetes is diagnosed. Now, prediabetes raises your risk for peripheral nerve damage, neuron damage of the brain, heart disease, and stroke. 298 million adults globally are diagnosed with prediabetes. So it's evident that both diabetes and prediabetes plays an enormous role in developing peripheral neuropathy cases, but it goes deeper than that. Prediabetes, diabetes, and insulin resistance has been linked with the rise in numbers of Alzheimer's cases. In fact, researchers are labeling it as a type 3 diabetes. And this is because the neurons of the brain become unable to respond to insulin, which causes cognitive decline that we see in Alzheimer's. There have been numerous, and I mean countless, research studies over the last decade showing berberine effectively lowers blood glucose levels and improves insulin resistance. Here's a side note, gang. Research has shown that berberine is equally as effective as metformin for improving insulin sensitivity. Now, in this research study, it states, compared with metformin, berberine exhibited identical effects in the regulation of glucose metabolism, such as hemoglobin A1C, FBG, which stands for fasting blood glucose, PBG, which is postprandial blood glucose, that's glucose levels after eating, fasting insulin, and postprandial insulin. Using berberine, along with following a ketogenic diet, is remarkably effective at drastically lowering blood glucose levels down, and in many cases to a non-diabetic state, as well as improving hemoglobin A1C as it restores insulin sensitivity. This includes greatly improving the dawn phenomena, which is a substantial rise in glucose levels when you first wake up. Now, normally glucose levels should be low first thing in the morning, even for diabetics. Reducing insulin resistance is critical because it's linked with so many serious diseases like fatty liver, high blood pressure, kidney disease, autoimmune disease, and so many more. If this wasn't enough reason to reduce insulin resistance, you want to jump on this immediately to prevent the onset of peripheral nerve damage. Now, it's not uncommon to see prediabetes or diabetes to walk hand in hand with elevated cholesterol levels, especially LDL, the bad cholesterol, as well as triglycerides. What's exciting about Berberine's action is that it has been proven to lower LDL and triglyceride levels. Let's look back at the last research study we just had up. It says, in the regulation of lipid metabolism, berberine activity is better than metformin. Other research studies have reported that berberine effectively lowers LDL cholesterol and triglycerides while raising HDL, the good cholesterol that protects your heart and your blood vessels. As a matter of fact, berberine plays a significant role in protecting the inside wall of your blood vessels called the endothelial layer. It can suppress oxidative damage to the endothelium of the blood vessels. Because of this, it actually has the ability to help dissolve plaque inside the blood vessels. I'll leave links below for these research studies. Now, let's expose some of berberine's lesser known but incredible effects on the nervous system. The number of deaths and disabilities caused by neurological disorders has been increasing dramatically, ranking it as the leading cause of disability. The World Health Organization predicts by 2040, neurological disorders will overtake cancer to become the second leading cause of death worldwide. Well, I've got great news to help prevent you from becoming part of that grisly statistics. Did you know that berberine is neuroprotective? It will protect nerve cells against chemical toxicity and assault. Recent studies show that berberine inhibits the production of neuroinflammation and oxidative stress. What we're talking about is the direct assault of inflammation on nerves. Berberine reduces nerve damage by protecting the nerves from this assault. With major advances in pharmacological research, berberine has gained widespread attention from scientists due to its role in helping neurodegenerative diseases in both the central nervous system and the peripheral nervous system. Numerous clinical studies have found promising results for treating and managing symptoms for people suffering from Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, Huntington's, multiple sclerosis, cerebellar ataxia, and other central nervous system diseases. Get ready for another side note, gang. Berberine has the capability to reverse mitochondrial damage in peripheral nerves, the brain, and spinal cord. Now, this actually improves oxygenation to the cells, improving ATP production or cellular energy. As a result, it can assist in increasing the number of mitochondria in cells, especially nerve cells. I mentioned at the beginning of this video that berberine plays a significant role in weight loss. So let's look at this. Berberine is being called nature's Ozempic. Ozempic is a drug that was approved by the FDA in December of 2017 for the treatment of type 2 diabetes. And this drug has taken the market by storm due to its ability to cause weight loss. Now, I want you to understand the FDA never approved this drug for weight loss, only for glucose metabolism. But that hasn't stopped doctors from prescribing it for weight loss. This is called off-label prescribing, and believe it or not, it's legal. More than 9 million prescriptions are written yearly for Ozempic and similar drugs like Wegovy, and a large number of these scripts are written for weight loss. Although these drugs successfully reduce weight, it comes at a very high cost. Within a few short years of its release, the side effects of Ozempic have been quite staggering and quite alarming to say the least. Let's take a look at Ozempic's website. Right here it states, Ozempic may cause serious side effects, including possible thyroid tumors, including cancer. But if we look further, we can see that it's more than just a possibility. This line states, research showed that Ozempic and medicines that work like Ozempic cause thyroid tumors, including thyroid cancer. So this is one of the many side effects that are clearly disclosed on their website. But there have been even more side effects linked with Ozempic, such as pancreatitis, gastroparesis, which is the paralysis of the stomach muscles preventing food from being emptied, gallbladder disease, and intestinal blockages. In fact, it might surprise you to find out that the FDA recently acknowledged this drug can cause intestinal blockages, but they haven't done anything about it, including something as simple as mandating a warning label on the box or the bottle to warn people taking this drug. Ozempic has also been linked with cases of severe and excessive vomiting. And just to be clear, these side effects aren't just associated with Ozempic, but with other drugs in this class, such as Wegovy and Mounjaro. In fact, as of this year, January 25th, 2024, a class action lawsuit was filed against the makers of Ozempic and Mounjaro due to the number of cases of gastroparesis caused by these drugs, while a second class action lawsuit was filed due to the number of cases of gallbladder disease caused by these drugs. One more thing, because Ozempic is being grossly used for weight loss and not just diabetes, many insurance companies are refusing to cover this drug, and a 1-month supply can cost between $500 to $900. A much safer and cheaper alternative would be Berberine. Although Berberine doesn't work by the same mechanism as Ozempic, research has revealed that this natural supplement is very effective at achieving weight loss with none of the dangerous side effects. Let's look at this study, a meta-analysis of 12 different studies on Berberine's effect with weight loss. The results show that Berberine significantly decreased body weight, body mass index, waist circumference, and C-reactive protein. Health warriors, I want you to understand that C-reactive protein is a measure of systemic inflammation. So not only does Berberine assist with weight loss, but it reduces inflammation. Now that's really exciting. Now, let's look at the cost comparison. A 1-month supply of Berberine will range between $50 to $60 a month with none of the horrific side effects. The only side effects that have been reported with taking 1,500 milligrams or more of Berberine for long-standing periods of time has been nausea or loose stools. But research has also stated that these occurrences are extremely rare. I don't think it takes a rocket scientist to realize that Berberine versus Ozempic is a no-brainer. Now, stick around until the end of this video and I'll tell you how much you need to take based on clinical studies. I hope you guys are as excited with this information as we are. I want you to know we've been using Berberine for many years with our patients and have first-handedly observed these results. But I want you to know there are still more benefits of Berberine. Research has shown that this nutrient is antimicrobial, antiviral, antibacterial, and can improve the immune system function by improving your T cell function. Now, T cells are known as the killer cells of the immune system because they go after foreign invaders and destroy them if you have a strong and healthy immune system. If you have a history of cardiovascular disease or heart attacks, you need to pay attention to this next point. Berberine can lower blood pressure and has been proven to prevent cardiac muscle fibrosis or scarring after a heart attack. And it can also prevent scarring of the muscle brought on by a condition known as ischemia, where less oxygen reaches the heart muscle due to blockages. Berberine is also antithrombotic, meaning it prevents blood clotting or thick, sticky blood, which is why anticoagulants and antiplatelet medications are prescribed. And just as a reminder, we stated earlier that Berberine also improves the symptoms of Alzheimer's and other neurodegenerative diseases and slows down their progression. I do want you to be aware there are a couple different forms of Berberine on the market. The most common form is Berberine HCl. There's also dihydroberberine and Berberine phytosome. So there's been quite a bit of talk about dihydroberberine being a much better form of Berberine than Berberine HCl, with the premise being that dihydroberberine is better absorbed by the body than Berberine HCl. There is truth to this, but the physiology is more complicated than this. It's true that Berberine is poorly absorbed, but in spite of this, Berberine has been proven to have numerous benefits on the body that have been widely proven. So how can this be? Well, when you take Berberine, certain microbiota of the gut produce a bacterial enzyme known as nitroreductases, or NRs. Now, these enzymes will convert Berberine HCl to dihydroberberine, which then gets easily absorbed. But here's another caveat. Although dihydroberberine is more easily absorbed, berberine HCl moves in and out of cells much easier. Now, without overcomplicating this, there's another issue. Research further reveals that dihydroberberine can revert back to berberine HCl as it permeates the cell wall. Although certain research studies focus on the amount of berberine HCl that's found in the bloodstream after taking an oral supplement, this doesn't paint an accurate picture, and here's why. Whether you're looking at the dihydro version or the HCl analog, the way berberine invokes its physiological effects is by working hand in hand with the gut microbiota in the intestinal tract. The amount of berberine in the bloodstream doesn't dictate its effectiveness. It's how much dihydroberberine is in the intestinal tract. Confused yet? Don't be. Here's the easy answer. Both dihydroberberine and berberine HCl are equally as effective. It doesn't matter which one you take as long as you're taking a good quality berberine supplement. When you compare the cost of taking 500 milligrams of dihydroberberine versus 500 milligrams of berberine HCl, you end up paying twice as much or more, and it's not necessary. You'll achieve the same great results with either one. Let's take a look at how much berberine you need to accomplish the benefits we listed above. Research has shown that taking anywhere from 500 milligrams up to 1500 milligrams of berberine can evoke these numerous benefits. Depending on the severity of our patient's conditions, we'll start them off with 500 milligrams daily and slowly work them up to 1500 milligrams. Now, typically for our less severe cases of peripheral neuropathy or diabetes, we'll keep these patients on 1000 milligrams daily. Let's address a couple of important things you need to know when taking berberine. You might be wondering about side effects with berberine. Now, although GI upset is rare with berberine, instances of nausea or diarrhea were seen when taking berberine at high doses of 2000 milligrams for over 16 weeks, although it was rare. There are a couple of important points I need to cover with you when taking berberine. Number one, if you're on a diabetic medication of any kind, whether it's an oral pill or an injectable, you must monitor and track your glucose levels. Berberine is extremely effective at dropping glucose levels, and if you're already on a diabetic drug, your glucose may drop too quickly. Now, don't be frightened by this. This is actually good news, because as you watch your glucose levels consistently drop, you're going to want to take your glucose log to your doctor to have him or her reduce your medication accordingly. Now, don't attempt to reduce your own medication. It should be done under a doctor's medical supervision. Number two, if you're on an antihypertensive medication for blood pressure of any kind, you'll also want to monitor your blood pressure once or twice per day and record it. If your blood pressure continues to drop lower than normal, take this log into your doctor's office and have them reduce your blood pressure medication. Number three, if you're taking an anticoagulant or an antiplatelet medication like warfarin, Coumadin, Plavix, or any other, have your doctor do a simple blood test called PT-INR test. This measures the clotting time of your blood. We know that berberine is antithrombotic, meaning it can reduce clotting. But if you're on other medications that do the same thing, this can cause you to bleed too easily and could be dangerous. But the great news is that if you're taking berberine and your PT-INR values increase, meaning your blood is getting too thin, your doctor can reduce your medication, which is great because anticoagulants and antiplatelet meds come with a long list of side effects. Now, I do want to prepare you. Many doctors love prescribing their drugs and may not want you to lower your dose, so they'll just tell you to stop taking the berberine. Well, that's just ridiculous. Why would you want to stop taking a supplement that's been proven safe just to stay on a medication with hundreds of side effects? If you encounter this type of doctor, it's time to shop for another doctor. Well, health warriors, we've covered a lot today. I hope this topic has left you excited. There's so much you can do to take control of your health, regardless of your condition. Science has proven that berberine has potent and amazing pharmacological effects on the body to accomplish the same things that many medications do without all the dangerous side effects. Berberine is an important nutrient to add to your arsenal, so jump on that and start reaping the benefits. Before we go, I have a favor to ask. It's our mission to create a neuropathy-free tribe around the world, and we need your help. If you've enjoyed this video, please like us and share it with others. The most frightening challenge for neuropathy sufferers is feeling alone and hopeless. Together, we can help others realize that they don't have to live a life of misery and they're not alone. Also, please subscribe to our channel, which helps us to continue to deliver valuable content to you. And don't forget to click on the bell to get notified as soon as we release our next video. Until next time, health warriors, I look forward to seeing you on the road to great nerve health. Okay, Ray, this is Berberine. What's this? Berberine? Tell everyone it's about Berberine.
Lily, come on. Come on, baby.
Go play.
Come on, honey. Go